He says he is innocent. Philip Lewis, the man charged with killing Gary Medlin during an attempted robbery in Knox County in January, talked to us from the Knox County Detention Center this afternoon. He was arrested last month in Flint, Michigan after a 3-week manhunt. Meanwhile, Medlin's family says they're just happy that Lewis is now behind bars here in Kentucky. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds has the latest.
For the family of Gary Medlin, they feel the wheels of justice are starting to turn.
We are actually proceeding to do what needs to be done as far as getting justice for my son.
And now Philip Lee Lewis, the man charged in the shooting of Gary Medlin at the A&B Quick Stop in January, is behind bars, claiming he's been framed.
I don't even know where I'm at. I don't even know nothing about Knoxville, Kentucky. I ain't never been here.
As for the day of the murder, Lewis says he has a few different alibis.
I was at home with my baby mama, sleep. I just had a long day of studio session with my cousin and them, whatever, woo-de-woo. We was kicking and chilling, rapping and smoking or whatever. I made it home about 11 o'clock. My uncle opened the door for me.
Lewis even offered an apology to the Medlin family.
I'm sorry for y'all loss or whatever. Rest in peace to Gary. I hope y'all get justice.
But says police have the wrong man.
I am not no killer. That is not me. I did not kill that man.
State police and the Medlin family disagree.
It wasn't God or anybody else. It was this evil monster, Philip Lewis.
In Knox County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Lewis is charged with murder and robbery. Before his interview with us today in jail, he appeared in U.S. District Court in London, where federal charges against him were dismissed in light of the new charges.
Well, most of us have been dry throughout the day, but we also have this flash flood watch in effect for Whitley County, and this is through Tuesday. Now, this isn't because we are going to see rain over the next couple days. We are going to remain dry, but heavy rains over the past couple of days, or really over the past couple of weeks, could lead to possible dam failure. Now, this is at Corneth Road in the Little Spruce Creek drainage area. This is also near the Woodbine area, just in the northwestern part of Whitley County, and this is through Tuesday. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this over the next couple of days. We do know that emergency managers are on their way to go check out the dam, but it is important to note that we are dry and we are going to continue to see that as we head into the next couple of days. We're also going to continue to see those cooler temperatures. We're into the upper 20s to lower 30s, where most of us have maxed out for the day. And we'll really see that continue over the next couple of days. I'll have more details on that coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Paige. A Floyd County man is missing and police need your help finding him. Jordan Tackett is 26 years old, has dark brown hair and brown eyes, around 5'10". WYMT's Marianne Fletcher talked with family members who fear for his life.
Missing for weeks.
He usually checks in with me. The longest he's ever stayed away was like 2 days.
Rita Scarberry says it is out of character for her grandson, Jordan Tackett, to cut all communication. Police are still trying to figure out whether or not he's in danger.
He's not on my grandson, excuse me, but he's like my own child.
And she believes someone may have taken him.
I've heard so many rumors, so many places that he's been, that he's not, and it's just very devastating.
His golden heart and giving personality could have placed him in this situation.
You would have to know Jordan to know that he would give the shirt off his back.
Other family members agree.
And he tries to make friends with everybody, and I think a lot of people takes advantage of him.
Jennifer Patton and Patricia Hunter say they have not stopped searching for him, and they have a strong message for those who may be involved.
And whoever did this to him, they are going to wish that they hadn't. I hope that God makes them pay dearly for it.
Whoever's got you, I will find you, because you are mentally disturbed and you need help.
Searching for a loved one. In Floyd County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
If you have any information on where Jordan Tackett might be, you can call Kentucky State Police Post 9 and leave an anonymous tip at 606-433-7711. They are calling it Operation March Madness, but it has nothing to do with basketball. This morning, deputies with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office arrested 20 people after a nearly 3-month-long investigation. A majority of the arrests come from undercover purchases by detectives and DEA agents. Most of the men and women now being held in the Laurel County Detention Center are charged with trafficking meth. We'll have more on this story tonight at 11. Remembering a Perry County murder victim, Danny Mullins was shot multiple times last week. His visitation was last night and the funeral was today at the County Line Church. Family members shared memories of Mullins and told WYMT's Macy Marie he was someone they could always count on.
Described as someone you could always rely on and who put family first.
If you called Danny and you needed him, he would be there no matter what.
Monday, loved ones attended the funeral for Danny Mullins, who was shot and killed in Perry County on Wednesday. Family members, like his niece, Carlina Campbell, say there were many things he was passionate about.
He loved basketball, he loved cornhole, and most of all, he loved his daughter Lexi. She was his pride and joy.
And the most important thing to him?
Most of all, family. He was a family man.
With the person they could always rely on now gone, they ask the community for strength.
Please continue to pray for us through this hard time because we need all that we can get.
Loved ones say there are many amazing things they could say about Danny.
You couldn't say a bad word about him.
For now, reflecting on just some of those good traits.
Loving, honest.
They already miss.
Respectful.
In Perry County, Macy Marie, WYMT Mountain News.
Family members say hundreds attended the visitation and funeral. Mullins was 42 years old. Now, the man accused of shooting Danny Mullins, James McIntosh, was in court for his arraignment today. He entered a not guilty plea in district court. McIntosh will be back in court at 1 o'clock on Friday afternoon for a preliminary hearing. A request to lower McIntosh's bond was also denied during his court appearance today. The Kentucky Education and Workforce Development Cabinet announced today Kentucky's unemployment rate fell to 4.3% in 2019. That's a decrease from 4.9% in 2017. The cabinet says this is the lowest annual jobless rate for the state since 2000. But in the report, the cabinet also said that unemployment statistics are based on estimates and are compiled to measure trends rather than actually count the number of people working. The U.S. Department of Labor awarded a $1,075,000 grant to the Eastern Kentucky Concentrated Employment Program, or EKCEP. The funding is intended to help people who have lost their jobs due to the decline in the coal industry. EKCEP's Executive Director, Jeff Whitehead, says the funds will help support ongoing efforts to move the economy forward by furthering the workforce retraining and reemployment initiatives. A pair of bills draw criticism from school superintendents and teachers alike. Both are now working their way through Frankfort. The first, a bill that encourages donations to private school scholarships. Kentucky superintendents argue House Bill 205 takes money away from public schools. It would provide up to $25 million in tax credits for private school scholarships. Donors would get a 95% tax credit. That means for every $100 donated, they would get a $95 credit. Those scholarships would then be available to students whose homes meet a certain income level. Now, several superintendents talked to Hillary Thornton today about their concerns.
It is a piece of proposed legislation hoping to give individuals or businesses who donate to scholarships for private schools tax credits. So how many superintendents oppose this measure?
173. That's how many school districts are in Kentucky.
Scott Hawkins, superintendent in Woodford County, says this is not them opposing school choice, but is an argument for adequate funding for their districts, which they say are woefully underfunded.
We need every dollar we can get in our public schools to be able to offer the best opportunities for our students.
Meanwhile, proponents of the scholarship tax credit program say the opposite, explaining their belief that it will not take any money away from public school funding. They also believe by giving more students an opportunity to attend private schools, It will mean more resources for students in the public school systems.
Something else the superintendent's here talking about in regards to House Bill 205 is the fact that the legislature passed their top priority, school safety, without any funding.
The time when we need to implement Senate Bill 1, the school safety bill, we don't need the loss of dollars.
Some other things they feel the state's money could be used for include textbooks and a full day of kindergarten. Currently, the state only funds half days.
So that we can get a good base, a good foundation for students in early education so they can be successful in graduating high school.
Hillary Thornton, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, last week, thousands of teachers called in sick to protest another bill. It would change the makeup of their retirement board of trustees. That bill was set to be brought on the House floor today, but was passed over during today's session. WYMT's Phil Pendleton is live in Frankfort now with the latest on this controversial bill. Phil?
Well, House Bill 525 was said to be talked about. It was voted on in committee last week, and we were expecting it to be included in the orders of the day today. That's the number of bills to be talked about and then voted on the House floor. But they adjourned before that bill was discussed. Now, that bill would have an impact on the board overseeing Kentucky teacher retirements. It did pass by an 11-5 vote in committee last week. Now, the bill increases the number of board of trustee members from 11 to 13. Right now, teacher retirement system members elect the 7 other trustees from a group of nominees selected by the Kentucky Education Association. Now, if this bill is passed, the KEA would only put up 2 nominees. Right now, the governor appoints 2. That would increase to 3. Dozens of teachers packed the gallery in anticipation of a vote that did not happen today. And this happens as the 30-day session of the Kentucky General Assembly is wrapping up. Of course, the General Assembly will meet in 60-day sessions on some years, 30-day sessions on other years. This is the short year session. The last day is March the 28th. Live in Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, Phil, thank you very much for that live report. And of course, we'll keep following the developments. Coming up, the National Guard is in Leslie County helping flood victims. We'll have the latest from Confluence.
And we are seeing a beautiful sunset here on our Stonecrest Cam. Those skies are finally clearing, but that means cooler temperatures as we head into your overnight hours. Those continuing. Single-digit wind chills also an issue and a few cold days ahead. Those details coming up in just a few minutes.